1970, I preached what I was taught to preach. I preached according to the knowledge, information that was given me, and according to the tradition that I was raised in the Baptist church. My father was a Baptist preacher. My mother was a very righteous and stern mother, and she believed in going to church. She made us go to church. My father made us go to church. It was 10 of us, and we all had to go to church. And we were taught the principles and the fear of God. We respected God's house. We couldn't do no walking in church. I remember one Sunday morning, they told me I couldn't get up, when the preacher was up preaching. You couldn't walk. You couldn't go to the restroom. You had to go to the restroom, get your water and everything before the pastor got up to preach. And you couldn't do no walking. And I had to use the bathroom, and I didn't get a chance to go. Are y'all here? And when the preacher's up preaching, I was just praying that he heard him get through, because I had to use the bathroom. And I remember so well, my mama had a mink coat, a big old black mink coat. And I just sat there. And I wrapped myself in that mink coat. And the water started going down. Because I was sitting there in the choir with my mama. How y'all here? And water just started going down there on the floor. Where did that water come from? She said, boy. Are you still here? Well, I couldn't get up because I had the fear. And I was taught you couldn't do any walking when the man of God was a preacher. But we were taught the principles, and we saw the Sunday school campus, and the Sunday school campus had Jesus and the disciples on it. Right? And these disciples didn't look like me. Didn't look like my brother. Didn't look like the preacher. And the sisters on there didn't look like my mother. Didn't look like my auntie. Matter of fact, didn't resemble none of our people. But yet, every Sunday school, I was there in Sunday school. They taught me from these pamphlets. I saw these pamphlets. I read, and they taught me different things out of the Bible, and they taught me from what they knew. It was passed on down from them to them, and they passed it on down to me. So I didn't question. I just accepted everything they taught me and faced back that it was true. But as you begin to grow older, and by me being a person that's always curious and wanting to find out things, I began to search one day. And I began to re-examine what I had been taught. And when I heard a man on the radio back in 1988, called Dr. Joseph Ben Yankanan, he was teaching on the mother of civilization, Africa, the mother of all civilization. He was saying some things I never heard before, but yet they were pricking my heart, and they were agreeing with my spirit. And I said, who is this man? Because prior to hearing him, I went to Black Images bookstore. This is before they had the bookstore. They were, little peddlers. And they would have a little shop set up, those little shops you pay to get a booth. They were selling books. And I went, and it used to be in Wynwood Shopping Center. I think it used to be Titus then. And they were upstairs. They had a little flea market. I went up there and I saw that bookstore. I never saw a black bookstore before in my life. And even though I was brought up in the early 60s and the revolution and the turmoil all across America, it didn't faze me. I didn't even know what was going on. Matter of fact, when Martin Luther King got shot, hey, I was drunk somewhere. I didn't even know he got shot. Oh, you did. I didn't even know, that he was marching. I didn't even know that we had problems. Because I was so drunk, I was so wrapped up in the world, in nightclubs, and doing what I want to do, I didn't know there was a revolution going on back in the 60s. Passed me by. But God, in all his wisdom and knowledge and understanding, he allowed me to find out the truth. When I went to that bookstore, I saw a book. One of the books I saw was The Destruction of Africa, or Ethiopia. And it had on there a black man on a horse sword in his hand. And he was fighting white folk. And I said, I never seen that book before. And I got that book. I said, how much is it? She told me. I said, I want this book. Took the book home, began to read it. This is way before I started teaching truth about our history. It might have been back in 1984 or 85 or maybe 86. But I took that book home, I read it, well, I tried to read it, and it was like Greek. I couldn't understand what they were talking about. I said, what are they talking about here? All the name Cush and Ethiopia and Kemet and all that. I said, what are they talking about? And it was Greek, so I closed the book, put it under my bed, stayed there for about 2 or 3 years. Under the bed, didn't read it again. And that's when I heard Dr. Ben on the radio in 1988. Brother was saying things so deep, made my head swim. So I called Robert Ashley after the program went off. I said, look here, can you give me a copy of that tape? He said, I'll get you a copy.